Hey there, I'm Matt Vanacoro with Waves Factory, and I am really excited to show you Ukulele Collection. I was really excited when I saw this instrument was coming out because I always have to relearn the ukulele every time I have a gig where someone asks me to play it, and I'm terrible at it, and I'm always looking for a great VI that can get me that sound. It's just got a very specific sound. So if you take a look, we've got a fingered ukulele right here. Now you choose that by choosing the finger button right there. So got a really great traditional sound. And if you think it's a little dry, you can jump into the effects page right here. And as you can see, I've got a lot of different effect slots that are pretty easy to access. I don't have to go into programming or, out of this interface into the Kontakt area to do it. So I can just go right ahead and pick, a convolution room sound and go for a couple of different ones. Let's go with a darker hall. And of course, let's go ahead and pull the wetback a little. Nice and subtle. You can disable them right here, so you have the settings, but it's still completely dry, or you can completely remove it right here. Now, you'll notice that on the main page, I've got access to these key areas here. This is the traditional sampled notes that a ukulele can make. Just outside, you'll see some pitch shifted notes that you'd need some really alternate wacky tuning in order to reach. And then this purple region up top where we've got some really great sound effects. So a couple of really fun sounds there. But this isn't the only way to play this instrument. You can actually strum the ukulele. And of course I could just play the chords, but you've also got access to authentic strummed chord samples. So if I go to strum, now you'll see I've got a real different key switch layout. So this left hand area, the turquoise area, if I play a chord with the left hand, you'll see I've got an analysis in the bottom left hand corner saying a G. And I use these notes here, the C, the D, and the E, for my various strokes, ups and downs. And of course a palm mute. And don't worry about your sloppy inverting. I just went to the quickest chord I can. It automatically put it in the way that the ukulele would play it. You can even add a seventh, as you've heard right there, and kind of mix it right in. So we've got access to that. You've also got these green notes here, the open strum strings, if you ever want to use those. And of course, we have access to our sounds. Now, you'll notice there's a really great responsive velocity to my playing. So as I strum, I'll start gentle. You'll notice that even certain strings get played and certain strings get left out as I strum softer or louder as they reverberate just like a real ukulele. So it's really, really cool. Now, I'll go back to the finger setting just before we jump into the settings menu here, because I really want you to hear these sample settings. So we've got the round robin repetitions, and if you hear me play a single note over and over, you'll notice that if I play it right now, as long as I stay at the same velocity, it's the same sample every time. But if I flip on round robin and get 3 different repetitions, you've got 3 different recordings of the same note, with a little bit of a different buzz, a different harmonic sound. It's the humanized attack, which just gives it such a real sound. Now, I've got this velocity curve here, which will also help me shape my sound. So depending on your MIDI controller, you might want to restrict the low-end velocities or high-end velocities. So if you don't really like the highest one, you feel it's a little too percussive for the song you're doing, you can just have it never get there, no matter how hard you hit the notes. You can also adjust the curve. So if you find that your MIDI controller is really favoring the upper notes, you can adjust the curve to favor the lower ones. Or vice versa. If you're never getting to those upper notes and you want to get to them faster, you can adjust the curve to favor the higher velocity notes. Now you can restrict the dynamic range. So if you don't want that full range of that instrument, you can play at full velocity, even when you play the keys really light, or you can have access to softer and stronger velocities, which really brings out the realism in the instrument. I love it. And then finally, this spreaded doubler. So again, if you listen to some single notes, I've got it on now at 100%. I'll take it off. And it really kind of pulls it down to that single ukulele, but with the doubler, sounds like a professionally recorded and mixed ukulele, which it really is. So that's Ukulele Collection from Waves Factory.